others, and all of that is about to change, and I'm happy to be a small part of it.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Talk About Home. My name is Kevin McKay, and I'm the Executive Director here at the Home. I want to send a special welcome and thank you to Lieutenant Governor Roberts, Senator Levesque, Representative McNamara, members of the Joint Legislative Commission on their work on the nursing home culture change legislation. I also want to recognize Ray Rusin, who's here with the Department of Health and Facilities Regulations. And of course, I do want to welcome our residents from Talk About Home who are sitting in the back there. So welcome, everyone. I'm also the board chair at the Rhode Island Association for Facilities and Services of the Aging, also known as RIASA. And I want to publicly thank Jim Nyberg, who's in the back of the room, who's the director, who served on the commission, and also Matt Tremble, who is the administrator of St. Elizabeth's Community in East Greenwich. They were our representative on the commission, and we want to thank them for their work. I got a call a couple of weeks ago from the Lieutenant Governor's office asking if we would host this event this morning, so it's our pleasure to do that. And I was also asked to talk a little bit about some of the culture change initiatives that we have implemented here at Talk About Home, and some of the initiatives or some of the building designs in our new facility. So I want to just spend a few moments about that, or talking about that. So first of all, what is culture change? At Talk About Home, we defined it as a culture change as moving from a traditional medical model of care to a holistic model of care. It is a philosophy that puts the needs, the interests, and the lifestyle choices of the residents at the center of their care. I want to repeat that. It's a philosophy that puts the needs, the interests, and the lifestyle choices of the individual residents at the center of that care. So here at Talk About Home, we now refer to this culture change philosophy as individualized person-centered care. We always think of the individual residents and not ourselves in everything that we do here. I want to give you a couple of examples of some of the things we've implemented here, and to show some of the successes that we've had. Overhead paging. We've eliminated overhead paging. We have implemented consistent assignments. Residents are given choice of when they get up, when they go to sleep, and we now give them uninterrupted sleep all night long. We've removed our nursing stations, and we've given that space back to the residents, so now the residents are at the center of the care when you walk into the households. And we're currently working on a process of liberalizing our medication passes. So let me just go back and talk about three of them. Overhead paging. Could you imagine last night you turn the Red Sox on, and you find out they're losing, whatever the score was, 6-1. Oh, no. And so maybe you flip over to the Lifetime channel and you're watching a movie. And all of a sudden, over the speakers, over the overhead, you get a page. Kevin McKay, call on line 1. Kevin, call on line 1. You would not like that. And that's what we used to do here at Talk About Home every day. I think about when I go into Home Depot. How many people go into Home Depot? It's one of my favorite stores. But anyways, the noise that is generated with all that overhead paging. We used to do that here because of our convenience, not for the residents. So we've eliminated that 5 or 6 years ago, best thing we ever did. Well, next to the best thing we ever did. Consistent assignments. We worked with the Rhode Island Quality Partners a couple of years ago on consistent assignments. And what is consistent assignments? We have the same staff take care of the same residents every day here at Talk About Home. Going back about 5 years ago, every 2 weeks, the staff rotated. CNA has 7 residents they care for. Every 2 weeks, they got a new 7 residents. We even switched floors. Well, if you think about that, how could that staff member really get to know that resident, and how could that resident get to know the staff member? Now that we have consistent assignments, our staff can anticipate the needs of the residents just by looking at them. It's probably the best thing next to overhead paging that we've done here. We've had a lot of success with it. I really attribute our customer satisfaction for the residents and the family, and our staff satisfaction increasing those scores because of consistent assignments. Waking and sleeping. If I went around the room and I got a sampling of everybody here in this room, I'm sure that we've got people that wake up at maybe 5:30 in the morning to maybe 10:30 in the morning on your days off. Well, guess what? If you moved into Talk About Home, we all moved into Talk About Home about 3-4 years ago, we would be awoken at 5:30 in the morning to about 7:30 in the morning for a 50-foot commute down the hallway into the dining room. Why did we do that? We did that because on the 11 to 7 shift, some of those staff members would get some of our residents up and get them ready for breakfast at 5:30 in the morning for a 50-foot commute down the hallway. We've eliminated that. And so what we did, we worked with the residents and we found out what their sleeping patterns were, And again, if I went around the room, we'd have a sampling of 5:30 to maybe 10 o'clock in the morning. So now our residents have the choice to sleep late, and when they get up, we get them breakfast. Now, it's a little bit difficult today because our kitchen is down in the basement. The dietary staff's been very gracious in preparing trays for the residents at 10 o'clock when they get up and so on. In uninterrupted sleep as well. We no longer do things in the middle of the night, like check blood pressures or give medications that aren't needed in the middle of the night, so that residents can have uninterrupted sleep. Okay, let me move on to our new building. You'd ask, well, if you're having so much success here, why do you need a new building? Well, there's a number of reasons. Talkwat Home plans on building 3 households, and each household will accommodate 17 residents. The 3 households will all be on one floor, and the floors will be connected by a shared community space. The households will operate independently. They'll have a front door with a doorbell, just like we have in our own homes. There'll be a fully functioning kitchen in each one of the households. Breakfast will be cooked to order when the residents wake up on their schedules. There'll be a dining room and a separate living room. Each household will have access to an outdoor space. Each resident will have their own private room with their own private shower. Today, if you were at Talkwat Home, you're going to have a shared room unless you're one of 2 people out of the 42 that are here that get the private room. And so just imagine, I want to talk a little about Aaron, who was a resident here. Aaron moved from the Hillside Nursing Home to Talkwat Home back around 2005, and one year he had 4 roommates. And I walked by Aaron one day as he was out in the hallway, and he said to me, "Kevin, this is not fair. This is the 4th time that I've been placed out of my room while a family is in with their dying loved one in the last few days of their life." And how do you answer Aaron? I didn't know what to say to him. I said, "Aaron, it's not fair, but when it's your time, I'm sure you'll have your family will have their privacy." In a new facility, all single rooms, that won't be a problem. Infection control. If we have a resident that goes out to the hospital today and they acquire a hospital-acquired infection, MRSA or VRE, if their roommate is compromised, we cannot take them back into their own home. We will not have that problem in our new facility. Some people like to stay up late and maybe watch the Tonight Show. Some people want to get to bed early. All that will be eliminated. Fully functioning kitchens. I envision a fully functioning kitchen. We talked about people getting up when they want to get up. If someone wanted to get up at 5:30 and someone wanted to make them a bagel and get them a coffee or tea, that could happen in this fully functioning kitchen. If someone get up later on at 10 o'clock, the same thing could happen. And the breakfast will be prepared by staff members that have been cross-trained. Okay, every one of my staff members know how to cook breakfast. Ray Rusin in the Department of Health will be working with us, and we'll make sure that people are cross-trained and they have sanitation classes so that we could have people that give direct care could also make meals for folks. So that's something we need to work on. But I also look at this, and when I look at the fully functioning kitchens, the residents participating, if they choose, in the meal preparation. I've envisioned that we'll have these countertops that are handicapped accessibles where the residents can pull up to the countertop, and maybe they're peeling apples and cutting apples for the apple pie that is baked in the fully functioning kitchen and then served later on that night in the meal. I know myself, just thinking about it, I'm getting hungry, so imagine how the appetites would be for those residents. So we do want to build a new building, and a different day we could talk more about our financing, our trials and tribulations. I will say we have had some success in the last couple of months, and we're making some progress. So let me just end with some thoughts here. The Providence Business News did an article titled, "Nursing Home Discards the Old Model." Dr. David Gifford was quoted in the article. He stated, quote, "Elderly people beg their families not to put them in a nursing home. So we're spending millions of dollars on the care for elderly that they beg not to get, or they beg not to get. That's messed up," end quote. Okay? With the work that's being done here at Talkwat Home and other nursing homes all across the state, with the passage of this legislation, elders across the state will now have their care in facilities that will truly be like home. They will have the intimacy of a small home with the privacy of their own bedroom, the aroma of meals being cooked, choice when they want to wake up, choice in when they want to eat and how they want to spend their time. Their health care will be provided by the same consistent staff that they have come to know and trust. This new home is a place